Today, I would like to shed light on a matter that concerns us all, the undeniable and persuasive impact of TikTok on our youth. While the platform garnered immense popularity over the years, we can't turn a blind eye from the negative repercussions that it has against our youth. There are many factors of TikTok that raise concerns for parents around the world. Those factors include instant gratification, harmful trends and challenges, unrealistic beauty standards, and lastly, mental health consequences. I want to dive into the instant gratification of TikTok first and how that can be very harmful for our youth. Instant gratification is basically whenever your brain is met with a serotonin level that is quick and it's fast and it's accessible, and you don't really have to put a lot of brain power into it to get that serotonin. So TikTok is very good at doing that because you scroll through the app, you watch 10-second, 15-second videos, and your brain is immediately stimulated and it's getting serotonin from those videos, and then next thing you know, you scroll again and you scroll again. And it's sort of like an addicting habit to get into, especially as a child. You can spend a lot of your time on social media if you're able to. And I think that is really unhealthy for children. They need to be able to stimulate their minds without relying on technology. They need to be able to go outside and they need to play in the dirt. They need to build something. They need to use their brains and problem solving skills. And they need to learn about the world, and not through a screen. They need to do it hands-on. They need to have hands-on experiences. And this just shows children that, you don't really need an education to make money, because they see all of these TikTokers and YouTubers on social media and they're making loads of money. But in reality, that's not really how it is. And it sort of convinces children to believe this false reality where you don't have to go to college, you don't have to get an education, you don't have to try hard in school, you can just be a YouTuber or a TikToker when you grow up. When in reality, that's really not ideal. As a college student, I would never ever give up my college career to be a TikToker, because I know I would never make as much money to keep myself afloat, nor would I be able to keep a whole family afloat if I were to have children or a husband, anything of that sort. So that just kind of shows that children are sort of losing that strive to gain more of an education, and they're losing that strive to learn new things and to become an actual productive member of society. There was actually a study done in 2023 that showed our youth is more likely to respond with wanting to be a TikToker or a YouTuber when they're asked what they want to be to grow up. And a lot of them don't even really strive to get an education after high school. Next, TikTok has a bizarre way of making very dangerous challenges very trendy. Since children are so influential, they see these challenges and they try them at home, and it can lead to really dangerous situations and sometimes even death. Certain types of challenges, like the choking challenge or the Benadryl challenge, have resulted in immense mental trauma as well as physical harm to children in the US. So I want to highlight those two challenges that I pointed out first. The choking challenge was a trend that surfaced TikTok, I want to say it was 2019 probably. And basically, it's a trend where you hold a friend against a wall or yourself and you choke them until they are just about to lose all the oxygen in their body and they're about to pass out. They are on the verge of blacking out, and then you let go and you let them gain oxygen back in their body. That sort of puts the brain into a euphoric state of being high or loopy or on some sort of laughing gas. It's extremely so dangerous for the human body to go through that. It is the worst thing you could do to your brain is deprive it of oxygen. And children were constantly doing these trends because they thought it was funny to feel loopy and feel high for the first time. It was not safe whatsoever, and it honestly did lead to a couple serious injuries back in 2020 and 2019. The next challenge that is also very concerning would be the Benadryl challenge. This is where a lot of teens and children would get the over-counter drug Benadryl, which is an allergy pill, and they would take a lot of it to the point where they would get so sleepy from the side effects of the Benadryl, but they would fight off the sleep and they would fight off the side effects of the Benadryl. In turn, they sort of they sort of had, once again, that euphoric experience. They started to feel high and loopy. They saw hallucinations, whatever they may have seen or happened. Either way, it is still extremely unsafe, and it can cause significant damage to the brain, the liver, the stomach, and even your heart. So up next is the unrealistic beauty standards delivered from TikTok. This relates back to my first point that I had, how everything is just not really as it seems online. Children are seeing grown adults on social media, and they're constantly going to be comparing themselves, their life, their bodies, everything to who they see online. They're very impressionable, so if they see an adult behaving a certain way online or dressing a certain way online or saying, you need to wear this and hide this part of you because that's ugly, but you can show this part, they're going to listen to that. They're very impressionable, and they look up to adults. They see adults as role model, as people who will teach them the right and wrongs of life. So whatever a child sees on TikTok, they think that that is acceptable. Not only that, but there are a lot of beauty standards all over TikTok, which is very harmful to our youth. They should learn that you need to embrace everything about yourself. They need to learn that your flaws are not horrible. Your flaws are perfect, and you're perfect just the way that you are, and you don't have to hide everything. And this just leads to my final point, that TikTok has a lot of mental health consequences. So constantly comparing yourself to somebody else's life, which is usually 9 times out of 10 unrealistic and not really true, can lead to very bad depression issues. It can also lead to self-esteem issues, and TikTok and social media alone are one of the number one reasons why young girls in the United States have self-esteem issues. As a girl, I've personally struggled with self-esteem issues because of social media. I see a model online, or I see a girl on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I wish I looked like her. Why don't I look like her? What's wrong with me? And you get yourself into this mentality of like, what is wrong with me? When in reality, nothing's wrong with you. What's wrong here is that these people are feeding our society with unrealistic trends and beauty standards and looks and styles, and making everything seem like it's all about money, it's all about luxury, and how many vacations you can go on every year, and how many plastic surgeries you can get, and who has the biggest lips, and whatever makes them happy, you know? That just shows that there's a huge issue with people putting their fame and their style and their agenda above substance and actual human connections throughout the world. Not only is TikTok a huge way for mental health to creep into a child's life, but it is also a really big possibility for cyberbullying to occur. TikTok is not a very secure app whatsoever. There's a lot of predators on TikTok, and in turn that can turn into cyberbullying. I've seen instances where children have actually been harassed by older men on TikTok, and it's very dangerous because a lot of children are impressionable, and they meet a stranger online, and they think that that stranger is their friend, or they think that stranger is somebody that is their age, when in reality it's maybe like a 50-year-old man on the other side of the computer. But that child doesn't know, and that child is so impressionable and so convincing that they might give them their address, their IP address, their phone number. You never know. They could give them their parents' credit card number. Anything. Like, children are so easy to convince that, and they're so gullible for all of these evil people that are across this platform to just use them. And so in conclusion, TikTok is not really a healthy platform for children to constantly consume. It persuades the children to behave in a validation-seeking behavior, and it leads them to believe in false realities, promote very dangerous trends and challenges, and this is all causing very immense physical and mental harm for our youth. I feel like as a whole, us older generations should be setting examples and prioritizing your well-being over being famous and having money. So thank you guys for listening today, and I would love to hear everybody's opinion on this matter and how they feel about this. Thank you.